situation on the scrimmage where you had the one. Now you're into the second week. How do you feel about what you've seen so far?
That's good. I mean, the other day was kind of situational control. Tomorrow, half practice, half normal scrimmage, kind of all leading up to next Wednesday. It's been good. I was just challenging the team, you know. I mean, we grade everything. Everything matters. And so spring ball is about getting better. It's about learning, correcting, and applying. And so we've got, you know, and just being coachable. I mean, it's okay. We got a lot of guys repping on everybody. So everybody's getting a lot of work. It's fast. There's a lot of moving things going on out here at practice. But, you know, we're doing installation. We correct. We teach. We're trying to learn from everybody. But just, you know, not making the same mistakes and just showing that improvement. You know, some of them it's just the knowledge. There's a big gap knowledge-wise. Some of them it's, you know, just physically being able to do what they need to do right now. You know, a guy like EJ, you know, man, he's still great. But man, what he's gonna be able to do in that weight room between now and August is going to be a huge addition to his game because he's really a special young talent. And then, you know, some of it's just fundamental technique. You move a guy like Taekwon, he's one of the most powerful guys we got, but he's got a lot of fundamental work to do. And so it's just everybody's got different things, but just seeing improvement, showing up with the right attitude every day, being coachable as we really now start to give them really a lot of feedback on where they are and what they got to do. But it's been really good. I mean, the energy's good out here every day. This team is, as I've said many times, very talented. Lots of guys that I think have the ability to play their way into, you know, a guy that can help us. But you know, we've got a long way to go. And Monday, Wednesday will be big for us. Monday will be more of a normal practice day, kind of clean up some installation, put a few more things in, challenge them a little bit. We'll actually meet Sunday this week and just kind of take some time to meet and go back through some things and a lot of corrections. And then, you know, really try to put everything we got into getting them ready for Wednesday. And, you know, get that graded and, you know, just keep challenging them to get better as we go.
You've got a lot of new pieces on both lines. What have you seen out of those two groups?
Yeah, well, our first group, offensive line-wise, is big-time thumbs up. Man, I'm super encouraged with those guys. And we don't even, Blake's not out here right now. I mean, he's out here, but he's not doing any live work. He's going to be a good addition for us. But, I mean, our two tackles, McFadden and Jackson, you know, really super job. And then, you know, Bach is Bach. He's just really great. The two guys that I'm so pleased with is Cade and Putnam. Putnam has really improved from where he was. And that's just shows you what a little bit of experience will do for you. And so especially when you get a reset, you kind of go back to kind of base one and you just like, whoa, man, you just realize how far you've come. And so just really pleased with them. And that we're our second group right now is all freshmen. I mean, it's and the defense doesn't really slow down. So it's a challenge. We got the right guys. They're kind of getting a little baptism right now, but that's just kind of comes with it. I love the guys we got. We've got a lot of teaching, a lot of coaching to do, but really encouraged. They're the right guys. We're just not very good right now.
One of those units I'm pretty sure you're looking at for some depth this year, defensive backfield. What are you seeing out there, the safeties and cornerbacks?
Yeah, it's good. Well, you didn't answer the D-line, just night and day from where we were last year. It's just not even close in every area. You know, just overall talent, functional depth, knowledge, experience. We're just way further along than we were this time last year. Leadership, it's just really, I'm very pleased with that group as a whole. And then, you know, I love our guys on the back end. I mean, I think it's exciting. We got the safeties have a lot to learn. I mean, just little things, angles and eyes on the right things, but just we got the right guys. I mean, that's all I can tell you. I mean, I think we hit on every one of those guys that we've signed. Every single one of them. Super encouraged. Landon is, I think, going to be special. Joseph Charleston, man, he's a big-time talent. Ray Thornton has probably flashed as much as anybody this spring. really impressed with what I've seen in Raythorn. Jamie Phillips, a guy that brings a lot to the table as far as diversity with his play. Nolan obviously is out, but we know who he is. So really encouraged. We got some good, couple depth guys behind them. Obviously, Mickens and Venables just got here, but you notice them. It's easy to notice them. Elijah Turner, move Ben Batson over there. Carson Donnelly's a walk-on, but a guy that catches your eye. I mean, we got a really good group of guys deep. A lot of special teams bodies, and then corner has been the one position we just we're a little thin just with practice guys right now. We got good guys, but hey, Fred, he's taking advantage of every rep he gets. And Booth was in a green jersey today, which is really good. So Booth's getting worked back into a little higher tempo. So I'm super encouraged about that. He feels good, and just I think he'll be a guy like Putnam. He got enough experience, throughout the season. When he gets back out there, he's going to, especially just feeling a little bit better, I think he's going to do well. Still working on getting Mario back, getting him healthy. Lee Anthony's done a heck of a job. Lee Anthony's thicker. He's a little bigger and thicker, and that's been a weakness in his game. Is just size and physicality. Kind of gets pushed around a little bit, and he's really worked his butt off to get stronger, to work on that weakness, to give himself a little better chance to compete and get in there and help him. So I mean, it's a good group, man. We got a bunch of good guys, and we get everybody healthy. We'll have a chance to have a pretty special group. DK's doing a nice job.
Is there any new injuries?
Yeah, he's back.
Is there any new injuries?
New injuries?
This week?
No, nothing that I recall from the other day.
Coach, you've done a really good job creating this family atmosphere within the team, just like Clemson University has what we call Clemson family. How important is that to you to have the family atmosphere and bring in these new guys and make them feel part of the Clemson family?
Yeah, well, I don't think you can get anybody all in if you don't have that component. That's just my personal belief. That's like the cornerstone of all in is a family atmosphere. And you got to have communication and trust and respect. And you got to have the right vision. Everybody's got to understand it. You got to have an appreciation for each other. If you got all those things in place, you can get everybody all in. But it starts with that. And we're gonna have a big reunion. We're gonna have a ball this weekend. I think we got somewhere between 175 and 200 something guys that have responded saying they're coming this weekend. And some of them got here today, and none of them are coming tonight and tomorrow. And man, it's going to be awesome. We're going to be out of practice tomorrow. We're going to have tomorrow night right here. We're going to have a big dinner for everybody. And then we're going to kind of have an open mic. We're going to make a little presentation. We're going to have some fun. And, it's just really cool for me. First of all, I can't even believe I've been here long enough to have a reunion. But it is what it is. Some of these guys are like 33, 34 years old that were on that 08 team. So we took last decade and we threw that interim group in 09. And really just my message be, as we start the roaring 20s, as I've been calling them, as we roar into the 20s, literally, we're in a different place in 20 than we were in 10. And most of y'all that were here remember that very well. Ross was nowhere, I don't know where Ross was, but in 10, we're in a little different place as a program and, getting going and than we are now. And it's important for these guys to appreciate, a lot of these guys were 6 or 7 in 2009. So they don't, so 9, 10 plus win seasons, 5 playoffs, a lot of these guys were like, they don't know anything other than kind of who we are. So it's kind of hard for them to understand. Well, in 2009, we won our first division. In 2011, we won the first championship in 20 years. We had our first 11-win season since 1981 in 2012. And so I think it's been awesome. And then these guys coming back this weekend, it's going to be great. But just kind of, I don't think you can really appreciate what you have if you don't know the history and the DNA of it. And so we've talked a lot about that this spring. And the responsibility of this team as we kick off a new decade. Hopefully we can have more than 6 wins like we did in 10. So it's been a lot of fun, and it's going to be an awesome, special weekend hanging out with so many guys. Sammy's coming, Nuke's coming. We got all kind of guys rolling in. It's going to be a blast to just hug everybody's neck and have some fun and try to have a little old-fashioned Sweeney team meeting tomorrow night with these guys. So I'm looking forward to that.
Selected 7 and 5. Tyson and DJ out there. Is DJ going to be able to pick up enough to push Tyson for a spot?
I mean,
by the fall?
He's going to compete, every single day. I mean, he's just a natural, and it's going to be very competitive. Tyson's the same way. Tyson is a completely different guy than he was this time last year. And DJ is he's as advertised. He is who he is. And he's not going. He's here because he's a great talent, but he's also a great competitor. So there ain't nobody out here that can show up and compete every single day. It shakes out.
You're starting to see those early enrollees get more comfortable now, like several days into spring practice?
Yeah, that second offensive line's swimming. We got a lot at them. It's not easy out here, but that's why we're successful, I think, because you get exposed on the practice field, and if you're a competitor and you made the right things, you'll get better. You'll figure it out. You'll respond. Otherwise, you got some long days ahead, because they don't change the pace or the tempo and all that stuff. And our defensive line is just a little deeper right now with more knowledgeable guys. Our second group it's just flipped. Our second group, defensive line-wise, they're much more knowledgeable than our second offensive line. Same thing at linebacker. So it's been a little challenge for them, but they're plugging along, man, getting better. It's just a process you got to go through.
You mentioned E.J. Williams earlier. Who are some other guys in the wide receiver group in that second tier that might be pressing the first tier guys?
Man, all those guys are better. I mean, Joe and Frank, first of all, are just as I thought they would be. I thought they both had some moments last year. Obviously, Frank missed all of camp, with his foot and was hurt, and then he literally got back game week. And that really kind of set him back, took him a little while to kind of get better. He had some moments and learned, had some great days in practice and things like that. He looks like a different guy. I love what I'm seeing out of him. And then Joe is just, he made big plays all year. And physically, he's pretty special. And mentally, he's really caught up. And technically, fundamentally, he's made a huge step. So pleased with him. Spector, I think, has got a chance to be just a super player. I think he's going to have an unbelievable career. He's got 4 years to go, and I think he can be one of those guys that can really do some great things. Amari looks awesome, especially without the brace. He's just confident. He's flying around. So pretty pleased with him. Cornell is probably having his best practices. I think he's leading us right now in catches, and so he's doing a nice job doing that this morning. EJ is just a great young talent. It really is. I mean, Will Sweeney and Will Brown, just two guys you just know exactly what you got with them. I mean, they can play if given the opportunity and can get the job done for us. But just love what they're all about. We got some good young guys behind them that are getting better too. So we got a good group, a really good group.
And Isaiah and Dorian, you had those rare guys who could stay on the field regardless of situation. Do you have what you think, any type of sort of talents like that? Don't know yet.
And we didn't know that with Dorian or Isaiah either. Sometimes it just takes a little while. I think we got a lot of candidates that we got to figure out, how it all is going to work. But Mike Jones is probably one of the bright spots of camp. Just looks different. I mean, in every area, his way he moves, his confidence, his awareness, he's playing really fast. It's where he's supposed to be, his anticipation of everything. He's a big time thumbs up guy. After was it 7 days, 6 days, whatever they were, 6 days, 7. He's high. Stock is way up on him. He's really done a nice job. But we just got, Simpson is a young guy that's trying to figure it out. He's playing out there and he can move. So we just got a lot of guys we got to navigate, and that's part of our job this spring too, is we, kind of figure some of these guys out. But right now I don't see an Isaiah Simmons, but again, I didn't see him early either. We had a long way to go with him and Dorian. With Dorian, I don't know when he started. He's the 4th year, redshirt junior. Took him a little while to kind of become that, but I think we got plenty of talent, and we'll figure it out. That's what we do. But ultimately, no matter what, I think we're going to have to get that third corner guy. I think that's an area that we can get better, a little bit better as a team, and have a true third corner guy that can get in there and play something like we did with Ryan Carter and some of that. And we really didn't feel like we had that last year, and we really didn't have to. But I think that's an area, but right now we're trying to get a second corner. everybody's we got a mash unit going on. So they're just kind of all nagging around, but we'll get there.
Dabo, you don't encourage or want a lot of cussing out here. Why do you think that's an important thing in building the character these guys are being part of the program?
I mean, I just think that it's the right thing to do. That's what I think.
When was the last time you cussed in the non-biblical sense?
Oh, shoot. Probably yesterday. I don't know. I try to keep, there's 3 in the Bible, I think. Try to stick to those. But, I don't know if it's ass in the Bible. I don't know.
Yes, it is.
Is it in there? Hell damn an ass. So, try to stick to those as much as possible. But, I am human, and I can have my moments, but I try not to. And we really try. We really do. We try to set a good example, and our players, try. And occasionally, they'll just call them out. You say, hey, we don't need that, and then they, oh my bad, Just try to make them think about it. Just try to articulate yourself a little bit better without, some of that. We can. I just think it's the right thing to do. Really, to be honest with you. What's your better men?
What's your assessment so far, Tyler, and the job he's doing with the wide receiver group his first year?
He's awesome. Like I said, there's never, ever been a guy more prepared to be the receiver coach at Clemson for Coach Sweeney than Tyler Grisham. So he's been awesome. I mean, it's a mini me out there. I love it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I crash his meetings and been having some fun, man. But he's just so energetic and passionate and enthusiastic. And he's just so knowledgeable. I mean, he obviously knows me inside and out, and the way I want to do things, and he's tough. He's tough.
Head coach someday?
Tyler? Oh, certainly. He's definitely got the makings of that. He's got the right stuff. There's a lot of guys on our staff have that, but he's a great young coach.
Kind of in your reunion and Tyler, and a question me and some of the guys were talking about back earlier before we got out here. Who do you think is your best under the radar Alabama recruit from your history that you've brought through the program?
Ooh, best Alabama recruit. I love all my Bama. We call them Bama boys. So that goes back to J50, John McKissick. That's what he used to be like.
He was one of the ones we were talking about.
Yeah, I love J50. He had that long interception against South Carolina. I think that might be the longest touchdown still by D. Lyman.
82 yards.
Yeah, and it was also the longest play ever, like 10 seconds to get down there 82 yards. He's got 2 records. I don't know why nobody called him, but God, Grisham would be right there. Grisham had one offer, me. He had no offers, and I mean, y'all have been around. I mean, he was a great player. He lasted 4 years. He got vested in the NFL, and I mean, he had one offer. So I mean, he was pretty good. Antoine McClain was a heck of a player for us. J50 was, I guess he was my first Alabama guy. And he became such a great leader here, and just one of those guys that just to this day, just all in, with our program and ambassador for our program. And, so we've had a bunch of guys. Obviously Ross, Ray, EJ, 3 guys right there, the 3 amigos from the same school. Super talented. Probably forgetting somebody. TJ.
That's when we were all talking about.
TJ out of Sylacauga. I didn't even know who he was. Literally till the last weekend.
Yeah.
He was like going to UAB or something, and literally went down there and saw him and got him up here that last weekend. And I told him before he came up here, I said, "Now here's what's going to happen," because nobody knew who he was. And I watched him. I'm like, this is as good a guy as I've seen. He's coming this weekend. He'll be here tomorrow. I said, Robbie's like, well, he's down there at Sylacauga, coach. Nobody's going to Sylacauga. I'm one of the few people who know where Sylacauga is. And shoot, I told him over there he could play, and because he played like, high safety, and they ran the option, and he was just probably a hard guy to evaluate. But when you really looked at him, going, whoa. And we didn't really know what he was. And he actually wanted to play wideout. And we had him there the first year at wideout. And I'm like, you know, you can be okay, but you ain't gonna play the next level. So if you want to play the next level, you're gonna need to move. And son of a gun, I didn't know he'd play, you know, start 1 year and go second round, but you know, that's what happened. But he's a great kid, great story. But when he was coming up here, I said, here's what's going on. Don't tell anybody you're coming to Clemson. But when Auburn finds out you're coming to Clemson, they're gonna call you. I'm telling you. And sure enough, they called him in the car. But he was on the way up here. You know, because it's like 45 minutes. And so he can't end up getting him. He was a huge under the radar guy. You know, but he had offers. You know, Grisham had no offers, none. So I think all those guys had offers. So Grisham's probably the most under the radar guy, if I had to pick one.
We were talking to Buckhorst over here, and just the way he carries himself, and he acts like a leader already. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Eric McLean. Do you see kind of that in him? Can he be a face of the team?
Oh, no doubt. He's going to be a face of a company or a governor of a state. Or I mean, he's right at a 4.0 student. I mean, he's brilliant. He's unbelievable. He's one of our Paul Journey top ambassadors. I mean, he's just an amazing young person. He just happens to be a nasty guard. He can play this game at a high level, strong, athletic, you know, flexible. You know, do the splits. I mean, he's just a very, very unique guy at his position, and so committed. One of the best leaders we got, and has been. It's not just now. He was a great leader for us last year. Got a bright future.
Anybody else?
Thanks, Coach.